that frame they're working on right now, is that to like cover the seal as they egress, or
Mm.
do you know what that frame is for?
Yeah, there's a very delicate seal there that they need to protect in between missions. You don't want to have to replace the entire thing because it's very costly. I'm not the one that is building this capsule, but I can imagine that it's very costly to make a good hatch seal, especially with this hatch, which was not opened at any point in the mission because it's up in space. The one that they used to be able to go to the ISS, it's the one on the front. This one on the side is closed off a few hours before the launch, and it doesn't get open until now. So it's a very important hatch to keep closed, right, during the mission. And so if it doesn't get sealed very well, you have a problem. So they protect that. They're probably going to be putting their ramps on the bottom so that it is easier for them to step out of the capsule because, there's like steps and whatnot that you have to go through. I think, in
And
fact, that's the. Let's see. And I also think that that person that went in was the medical officer trying to check in on the crew. We may have the camera person sneaking in and trying to get a view. Ha! I think there he goes. Smile for the camera. And now the live stream, maybe? Bob your head.
I saw Ghost Blackout wondering if we know if any of the private space stations that are on the horizon will do similar ham radio uh, participation with the world. I don't think we know for sure one way or another, but I certainly hope that they do because I think that's a great way to get
Hmm.
more people interested in space, talking with space. Like, what cooler thing to say than I talked to astronauts in space?
Yeah. Now removing the tablets, the packs there with all of the, because you see the tablets, but then the thick pad there contains the same checklist, but in um in paper form as a backup. Yeah, they're also should be removing like the footrests and everything from the seats. I wonder if that person with a camera is the live stream camera, because the other one seemed to just be taking photos, whereas this one, I don't know. You're the camera expert though. I'm talking here.
Well, it certainly looks like a video focused rig, but whether or not it's
Yeah.
configured for live streaming, it doesn't particularly look like it's set up to be shared live. There
Well,
we go, though. There we go. Proves me
yeah.
wrong.
I was
There's a
I was wondering
cable.
that.
I didn't see that cable.
Yeah, I was
Thanks,
wondering
Carson.
about it precisely because we've seen in the past, right, that they sort of sneak in the camera into the capsule to take a look at the crew. That's nice.
Now, as the crew gets out of the capsule here, they're not just staying on the boat with these recovery teams. These boats have a helicopter pad up top, and so they'll most likely be taking a flight out of there pretty shortly, right, Alex?
Yeah, they take the plane. Oh, the plane. Excuse me, the opposite. A helicopter out of the out of the recovery boat. There's a helipad on top. Seems like they're putting there the ramp that I mentioned before
make exit easier. And yeah, they do that flight. I'm mostly sure now for California flashdowns they take the flight to Hawthorne, and then from there they go
to the different places that they need to go. We'll see who exits first, because sometimes they switch around the order. Like, I've not seen yet a crew mission where they exit in the same order, one mission after the other. It's like sometimes they make the mission specialist exit first and then the pilot and commander. Other times it's like the pilot and commander first, then the mission specialist.
Love how you can still see the other parts of their recovery teams working in the background there.
Yeah, their work is still not done. They still need to do a lot of other maintenance and preparations for the trip back. The recovery ship itself goes to Long Beach, where SpaceX has their recovery operations for the West Coast. That's where the boosters go, where the fairing halves go when they recover those as well. And now also Dragon spacecraft go there. And from there, they're trucked all the way to Florida for refurbishment and preparations for the next launch.
Speaking of that Dragon refurbishment, Creative Bytes is wondering, after each use of Dragon, do they entirely replace the heat shield or just repair it? So what sort of things go into this reflight of Dragon capsules?
Yeah, so for example, as I was mentioning before, that spam material on the outside, the one that makes Dragon look white, right? Again, spam standing for SpaceX proprietary ablative material. They love their acronyms like that. So that, for example, is ablative. It is replaced, and new material is installed for the next launch. The bottom heat shield, the main heat shield that is used to sort of take away the heat of reentry, that is Pika X, phenolic impregnated carbon ablative material, and X for SpaceX. And so the Pika X is also replaced, but there's an underlying structure, so to speak, where the Pika is applied. That one can be reused a few times, in fact. So the underlying material can still be reused, but the Pika itself is not. And it looks like we're having the first astronaut out of the capsule.
Who is it? Oh, looks like it's Peggy Whitson. And just walking out. No stretchers.
Always great to see.
Such a cool human.
Oh, yeah.
I'm assuming maybe the next one will be Shokes, the pilot from India. Unless they mix it up again, because sometimes, at least the most common one is when they pilot and commander exit first, then the mission specialist, or the other way around. Usually in that sequence of pairs, essentially. But they could also mix it, right? Like maybe the commander in one mission specialist and then the pilot in one mission specialist. You never know. I think they mentioned at one point that it also depends on like what's the status of each and every one of them as they accommodate back to gravity. We'll see who's next. Might be the pilot. Let's see, who's that? About to come out. And that's indeed Shooks. Shubhanshu Shukla, the pilot of Axiom 4. Also, great smile there. Hopefully we get to see him fly again into space on the Gaganyaan spacecraft from India. They're developing their own human spaceflight program. So hopefully, you know, and also their own space station. They're doing a lot of stuff in the next few years. It takes some time because it's quite complicated, right? Getting humans into orbit and whatnot. But still. Yeah, I'm assuming that maybe one of the mission specialists will be next. I mean, that's the only other two remaining as well. But yeah. We have any more questions, Dee?
Not at the moment. If y'all have questions, be sure to at NASA Spaceflight in the chat. Been trying to go through all of those that we can.
So like I'm seeing people from India, from Poland are watching this. It's great. I mean, it's really nice when you can feel proud, right, of your country. Oh, hey, there's somebody from my country up there in space. Isn't that cool? Doesn't happen that often from Spain, so I can really vouch for that. Because I feel like that. We only had one person
in space from Spain. There's also Michael Lopez Alegria, which also works for Axiom, by the way. But it's like mix of American and Spanish. So it's a bit of half and half, if you will.
Still cool when he flies because he also brings Spanish food and whatnot. So let's see who's next. Ah, hey, Swave. That will be Swavus. Oh my goodness. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna butcher his name. Swavus Wisniewski. There we go. I tried my best. So
It was far better than I would have done.
from Poland. So part of the European Space Agency. And again, as somebody that studied physics, I always find amazing that he worked at the Large Hadron Collider at CERN. And next should be Tibor Kapu from Hungary.
The last of the 4 crew members of Axiom 4.
Taking away the stretcher, being like, we're not gonna need this.
Now, here's a great question from Creative Bytes, wondering what sort of roles the mission specialists fill. Like, sometimes they might be more focused on one thing or another, but
Hmm.
I mean, there are a bunch of mission specialists that focus on their own things. Do we know, like, what did Tibor specifically work on during Axiom 4?
Yeah, it depends. Like, for example, for launch and entry, you've got sometimes the mission specialist sort of back up either the pilot or the commander, whoever is closer, because one mission specialist is close to the pilot, the other is close to the commander, and so they sort of serve as backups as well. Looking at the controls, making sure, following the timelines and whatnot. There's Tibor Kapu. Also great smiles, Will. But in other missions, you may see sometimes, instead of mission specialists, are like, medical